Hey there, and welcome back for another look behind the scenes at one of our creative portrait sessions. This time we invited aerial performer Jaslyn to come into the studio in South Dandenong, and we did an aerial lollipop hoop or lyra shoot. And we've just got Jaslyn setting it up here. My initial thought was actually to have different coloured backdrops behind her. So we had the purple down here, and there was yellow and blue and other things that we could have done on it. But then we decided that the hoop was actually quite a bit higher than we were expecting it to be, and the top of the backdrops wasn't working. So we ended up turning things around and using the white cyclorama wall that you could see here. So we ended up pulling it down, resetting it back up, and we used the white. So I just had 4 600-watt studio strobes set up. So we had 2 with strip boxes at the background to light up the white wall but give a bit of separation between the wall and the performer. And then we had 2 soft boxes set up at the front. We were doing just a few test shoots just to make sure everybody who came to the workshop had their lighting set or their settings correct and that everything was working. We were doing some fairly static poses to start with on the hoop because we didn't want to add in too much complexity with moving around and things like that. So we had Jaslyn doing quite a few different poses, and it looked really, really good in the shoot. We all had fun. This was not something that Jaslyn had really done before, per se, was like a proper full-on photo shoot for this sort of thing, although she has done modelling before, and obviously she's done a lot of performing before. But this sort of workshop environment was new. I have done hoop a couple of times before, but not in this sort of situation. So this was sort of new to everybody that was there. So it was really great to just start in slow and work our way through it. We had a few people who hadn't done too many workshops with me before, so that was really great to have them come in, and they were learning to direct the model and do some poses. The hoop kept spinning around, so we had to keep jumping in and sort of flipping it so that it was in the right position. So that was kind of funny. We then had our next costume change. So Jaslyn got into this black and red, sort of almost like a matador thing, and she had some fabric. So that's my husband there jumping in, and we were like trying to spin the hoop and get some movement happening with the fabric as well as with Jaslyn. So it did take a little bit to sort of spin the hoop around, and we had to keep jumping in and taking turns. So it was really nice to be able to experiment with some slightly different looks with the costumes. We were trying some different things with the posing. Wasn't quite so static now. We were trying, now that everybody was used to sort of shooting and getting some looks and learning to pose and direct the model, we were coming in and getting more active poses. You can just see every now and again Jaslyn sort of repeating similar poses because somebody would do something and then other people would go, hey, that looks really good. So it was nice to just be able to come in and just, it was a really, really casual workshop. Everyone was jumping in, having a go, playing around. You'll see some of the participants jumping in and helping with posing, styling, and just moving things around. We then had another costume change. So this is one from my studio wardrobe. This isn't Jaslyn. So I've had this gorgeous rose gold gown, and I had this custom made headpiece by Vadessa Fairy. And I used this in a couple of other shoots, but I thought this would be really nice to, as it had all this extra fabric, and it's a beautiful flowing material, and I thought we could sort of throw it and wave it around and just get some beautiful shapes happening. Had some gorgeous poses. Not a lot that she could do pose-wise, so she couldn't hang upside down or anything like that because the headpiece had fall off, although it's pretty stable. But we were doing some just beautiful posing with this floating fabric in the gown. So it really was just a lovely afternoon that we had. we had everybody coming in, so you can see everyone was now starting to jump in and having a go with throwing the fabric, just trying to get really good shots for everybody else. Everybody was starting to work as a team, which is always really nice to see. I love it when everybody just jumps in and they're all happy to sort of have a go. We then brought in this fan and we thought we would try and get some movement happening with this industrial fan as well. So with the fan, Jaslyn could sort of just hold some of the fabric out and get a bit of movement happening. So that was just a really nice addition to the workshop. It was great to just get something really soft. It was almost like a princess vibe. So it was lovely, it was pretty, and it was just great fun to have a go with. We then had Jaslyn get into the last costume for the afternoon, which was this fabulous black and white sort of striped geometric one. And as you can see, we were getting a lot more action and dynamics in the posing. Everyone was having a lot of one-on-one time with Jaslyn and getting some great poses happening. We had to keep jumping in and spinning the hoop around because she was being quite active now, but we were getting some beautiful posing and dynamic things happening. We had to be careful because you can see just here her foot's up above the white backdrop, so that was something that we did have to be a bit careful of. I'll just share just a few of the shots. So here's with the rose coloured dress. This was at the start with that sort of greeny teal outfit. This was with the black and white outfit, which just looks stunning. For camera settings, I was using ISO 200, shutter speed of 1/125, and I was on a 28 to 75mm lens. And that was pretty much the end of the workshop. I forgot to do a group shoot because I was so excited, because what I did after everybody left, I had asked Jaslyn to stay back. We turned all the studio strobes off and I pulled out a RGB Lightwand. This is the TL60 by Neewer, and I was asking Jaslyn to jump in and do some poses, still in that fabulous black and white outfit, but using the Lightwand to pose with, and I wasn't sure how well it was going to work, so I didn't want to pull it out during the workshop just to sort of confuse everybody. But it was something I really wanted to play with, and I loved the effects that I got, and I will show you some of the images. I think this is something that I'm going to explore further next year. I'm going to invite Jaslyn or perhaps another performer back and do some more creative lighting with the RGB light wands, because it is just fabulous. So here are just some of the images that I took using nothing but ambient light and this beautiful, beautiful light wand. And we did a couple of different colors. I also did some in black and white because I just absolutely adored the look of this. It's not light and bright like the other ones, but I mean, have a look at this shot. Absolute magic. Totally loved it. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time on YouTube. Bye for now.